I really don't know if I should be calling this channel How To with Mike or not. Maybe I should call it Surfing with Mike, because that's kind of what I do is surf and try to discover something new every day or try to reinforce something I already know to make sure that nothing's changed because stuff can change on a regular basis. One day, Pluto is there according to scientists, and one day Pluto is no longer a planet. So these are the types of things that can change. One day, an interstate is running through the side of a mountain, curving up the side, and one day, the interstate goes straight through the mountain. So you got to keep your mind open to change, and that's just the way it is. But today, I'm going to be talking about the interstate highway system, a little bit about what I know, and maybe some facts that are on the computer that I didn't know, or some facts on the computer that are just 100% ignorant of what I know, and maybe I'll believe it or maybe I won't. So here's some interesting facts about highways. There are 82 tunnels, 104 bores in the U.S. highway system. This includes like the mountains up on going out of Denver, Colorado, up in Pennsylvania. There's quite a bit of mountains. And I would say, as a truck driver, probably one of the most expensive turnpikes in the nation. There are approximately 14,750 interchanges in total on the U.S. highway system. This is exit ramps and off ramps. That's a lot of, and I can believe that. I don't know if that number is 100% accurate or not, but it sounds pretty close for all the driving that I've done. The most expensive interstate route is Highway 95 or I-95. It's estimated that it cost $8 billion. It goes through 16 states as well. And that would be from Maine all the way down to Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina. Oh man, New Jersey, New York, a lot of states. Georgia, might be missing a few in there. But that is true. I would say because it goes through so many different metropolitan areas, that probably is the most expensive highway system in North America. The interstate route numbers of east and west in even numbers, while north and south interstate routes numbers in odd numbers. This is true. So if you think about this and you look at a map, you'll notice that Highway 5 starts in California. And 95 is on the East Coast going up through New York that we were just talking about. So 15 is a little bit further in the Arizona area. You got 25. You got 35, which runs through Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. Then it kind of drifts off and runs through, I believe, Iowa. And it goes all the way to Chicago. So 35 kind of runs. It kind of runs northeast whenever you get to a certain point, but so does Highway 44 that runs through Oklahoma as well. But it's still an east and west highway because 44 goes kind of northeast out of Tulsa, but it's still east and west considered. 35 runs from south all the way to north, like Laredo to Minneapolis, St. Paul. Might go up a little bit further than that. Not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But a drive to Utopia gave us green interstate highway signs. Now, I'm going to have to do a little bit more studying on that because I have no idea what the hell type of fact that is. And spilled milk gave us center lines on the road. So that's another interesting fact that I probably will look up in the future. Stop signs are diamonds with the points chopped off. Huh. I'll have to take a closer look at that. I don't know. That sounds like something that the facts here sound like something that may have been generated by AI intelligence because it goes from some decent facts to facts that are just way the hell out there in left field. So those are some facts. Going back to the interstate system, 5 to 95, and then you've got Highway 8, 10, 12. uh, 20, 30, 40, all the way up to 94 up there in the Minnesota area. All those highways, because they have even numbers, go east and west. All the highways that have odd numbers, like 95, 5, 15, 25, go north to south or south to north. Does that make any sense? But sometimes you might go into a city that has three numbers. Three numbers on an interstate have a meaning too. If it starts with an odd number, such as 165, it'd be a spur going into a city. And if it has an even number, it's a loop going around a city. So if you look at certain cities like Dallas, they have a loop. It'd be like 635. The 635 loop, you hear about the 635 loop. That's because it goes around the city. As a matter of fact, it doesn't only go around Dallas, it also goes around Fort Worth. Then Minneapolis, St. Paul. I think Minneapolis, St. Paul, it's been a while since I've been up there, but it's like 435 or something like that. Goes around Minneapolis, St. Paul. I would say Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Dallas, Fort Worth, I call them like the Twin Cities myself. I mean, they call Minneapolis St. Paul, but I call it the same city, just one of them's in Minnesota and one of them's in Texas. That's the way I always looked at it when I was driving down the road. Especially if you got a load that's going from Minneapolis, St. Paul to Dallas, Fort Worth. Chances are you're going to some suburban area in between that doesn't have, it's a different city altogether, such as going to Irving, Texas. My first load ever, uh, when I was 21 years old, when I actually was able to leave the state of Oklahoma, because I drove in the state of Oklahoma, the first interstate load that I ever got, it was aluminum shavings I picked up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I brought those down to Texas. And they were making rocket fuel out of them. Don't know if it went into a spaceship or anything like that, but I thought that was pretty cool. So whenever you're just driving down the road and you're doing your things, do you remember your first trip, your very first trip as a commercial truck driver? What was it? So these are little things that we're going to talk about on this particular podcast, and different topics we're going to talk about. We're going to get into CDL training eventually. I'm working on how I want to project that to the audience, and I'm getting it written down, but trying not to go off any. Everything's going to be factual, but trying to put it in my own words instead of just verbatimly reading it from the book. So I hope everybody is having yourself a great day out there. Subscribe to this channel because there's going to be more talking like this. Maybe this is something that you could just be driving down the road, driving down the road tonight, or maybe tomorrow night, or during the day, or before you go to bed. Get a little bit of extra knowledge. Some of this knowledge some people may already know, but I guarantee you, someone out of 11 billion people on this planet will not know what I'm talking about. So, join me, Mike, How To with Mike. Or maybe we can change it to Surfing with Mike. But either way, everybody have yourself a great day, and I'll see you next time.